My most conservative take is that I don't believe that old people should be in charge of anything, period. Like, after a certain age, I don't care how intelligent, wise, or socially aware you are, your decisions impact other people more than it will impact and affect you.
Great.
Like, take climate change, for example. Boomers grew up with that shit. Like, that was something that they discovered. And they've known about it from its inception and still to this day make policies and run their businesses as if it does not exist because it won't affect them. Love and respect for the elders, but it's time for y'all to be advisors instead of leaders, chiefs, executives, etc. I don't even think y'all should be driving, but that's another video.
If the baby boomers had any self-respect and any dignity, they would all step down from political office at once. I'm not just talking about Donald Trump. I'm not just talking about Joe Biden. I'm talking about every single one of them. We need a clean sweep. We need to get rid of an entire generation in office because it is clear that they're so detached from the reality, not only amongst Gen X, the Millennials, Gen Z, and even Gen Alpha, but the reality for their own cohort. Because let's not forget, not all the boomers got wealthy. Only the 1% got wealthy. All of the rest got just as screwed as you and I, and they're not able to retire. So we need to get all of these politicians out of office because they're holding everyone back. And if we don't, we're fucked.
I'm sorry, but boomers ruined the economy for us. Boomers will say, just work hard and you'll be able to buy a house. When they bought a house, it was $40,000. College was cheap, rent was cheap, groceries were even cheaper. Now rent is like $1,800 for a studio apartment, but somehow we're just magically supposed to save money. Like, genuinely, how are we supposed to get ahead in this economy? Back then, you could support a family on one income. You could buy a house working at Sears full time. But now that just seems so unattainable. Budgeting in America in 2026 is basically survival at this point. You literally have to have a budget. You literally have to know where every single dollar of your money is going. This year I started using the Mine app and forced myself to make a budget because I literally was having no money left over after rent and groceries and other bills, stressing me out so much. Do I have a ton left over now? No, but I at least know where it's going. If you're struggling in 2026, I promise you, you are not alone.
Baby boomers suck, and they suck for three main reasons. The first is that they're the most selfish generation in human history. Second is that they're going to be the longest living generation in human history. And the third is that they want to maintain the empire. All right, so let me go through each one by one. Baby boomers are selfish. Everyone knows this. They had the most luxurious life. But the problem is that if you always lived a life of comfort and security and prosperity, you become a selfish individual because you think you deserve all this. Okay. The other thing is that the baby boomers have a religion, and it's an achievement. It's an ethos of achievement and accumulation. The more, the better. The bigger, the better. The more money I have, the better. The longer I live, the better. I need to accumulate and accumulate and achieve in order to signify my value, my worth. And their greed, their selfishness is destroying the environment, it's destroying the economy, and ultimately it's going to kill their children.
Here we go! I give you Krabby Land!
I hope I don't get copywritten for this. Hit the hype button with the comment section that you gotta scroll over. Hit the hype button for your boy.
Iran is teaching us that we obviously have to start a revolution because the ruling class in every country is nothing but parasites. And I think millennials are the only generation that can get it done because baby boomers, they love the system. They think the reason things are bad now is because there's too many trans people. Gen X has always been allergic to caring about anything. They haven't really done anything significant since Kurt Cobain. And then Gen Z has always been ruined by the internet. Like, millennials remember getting ruined by the internet. We remember where we were when we saw Two Girls, One Cup. Gen Z's always had some version of Two Girls, One Cup just streaming directly into their brains. Millennials, we're the last ones who remember hope and idealism, and that's what's made us annoying our entire lives. But now it's finally time to channel that annoying Harry Potter idealism into something productive, which is overthrowing the ruling class.
I agree.
Let's get it done.
I agree.
Say this: baby boomers have to be the worst generation to be amongst. Like, in so many ways, why we suffer and why future generations will suffer simply because of baby boomers. Look it up. Do your research.
The baby boomer generation over-promised, we over-borrowed, we under-taxed, we under-delivered, we got ourselves into reckless wars, and the baby boomers got past this mantle of leadership from the greatest generation at the end of the Second World War that they should have handled better, but they were irresponsible, they were nihilistic, very selfish, consumption-oriented, and they're still going. I don't know, Chuck Grassley, I think he's like 600 years old. I think he was like George Washington's great-great-grandfather or something like that. I mean, it's absurd. You know, Nancy Pelosi, I mean, they finally hit her with a high-pressure hose and, like, steamed her out of the House of Representatives at age 85. It's terrible. What we've done is absolutely criminal, and it's going to probably take 1 or 2 generations for the West to fix it, to be candid.
Y'all can fight me, but there have not been enough conversations about how baby boomers have been the most reckless and negligent generation of our entire time.
Facts.
Because there's been so much shit going on right underneath their noses since like the 1980s. And they've just been complacent and comfortable and trying fad diets. Meanwhile, they want to talk shit about our avocado toast because, God forbid, a generation wants monounsaturated fats and fiber while they're getting fucked. And then they're leaving this planet basically inhabitable for Gen Z and the next generation, calling them lazy, antisocial. This is the same generation that said don't believe everything they read on the internet, but they believed everything that they were told. Like, I don't know if the Atkins diet fried your brain, but you guys...
And while we're at it, well, first let me say I'm fat, just for all the trolls who are about to come in my comments.
Okay.
I'm fat, I eat, yes, move on. I think boomers are ruining everything, and I think we should start as a millennial collective, like, agreeing on new ages of appropriateness for, like, you know, like high-ranking jobs that really need like attention, and like for you to be awake and for you to be like smart and use your head and your brain and stuff. It seems like boomers can't do that anymore, and they're ruining everything. So I just wanted to come up with like a new system, some new like age cutoffs, you know, like how they're having problems deciphering like underage and what that is. We should also have an overage. We should have an overage. We need to have an overage.
Old people love to call us millennials and Gen X's, whatever the fuck y'all are, Z's, I don't fucking know, lazy. But it's like, yo, y'all don't even give us a chance to work. I've had an HVAC certificate for like 2, almost 3 years now, and I still haven't found a job. Mind you, I live in an inner city. How can I find a job? These people posting jobs on Indeed be asking people, oh, you need a year's worth of experience, but school doesn't count. So what the fuck was the point of me going to school for a year to get all these certificates and certifications just for y'all to say, oh, we want hands-on experience? Nah, I'm no dummy. I know 1 + 1 is 2, you feel me?
Right.
But if I was going to school for a year, working on machines, X, Y, and Z, how does that not count as a year's worth of experience? And then fuck that.
Right, he got a point.
How am I going to get the experience if nobody's going to hire me?
Right.
Oh, just sign up for the union. Sign up for the union. You gotta sacrifice a kidney, your life, and everything else just to get an application. Like, let's be fucking real, bro.
Yeah, facts.
Like, I get it. To get what you want, you gotta work hard.
Right.
But like, yo, these old motherfuckers is making it mad hard. It was easy for y'all. Y'all just had to go walk in. Boom, hey, I'm looking for a job. Y'all want to hire me? It's not that easy no more. It hasn't been that easy, and I don't know how long. Nobody wants to work at a warehouse. Nobody wants to work at McDonald's. Nobody wants to work as a fucking customer service representative. Like, and then even for a customer service representative, they want you to work there for a year. How? Like, can I get
that's
experience?
Crazy. That's wicked work.
Millennials and under, we're right? We're the first generation that's going to do worse than our parents statistically. You know what I mean? Which sucks, but the worst part is that our parents think it was because they were so smart. You know what I mean? I'm tired of hearing it from baby boomers, right? Like, their lives were so easy. You could just win a house at a carnival back then. Just some guy like...
Facts.
Oh, nice. A 3-bedroom.
Price is Right.
Awesome.
All kind of shows don't even exist no more like
again.
that. Right.
But the good news is only going to continue to get worse. I can't wait to flex on my children, right? Just talking to my adult son, like, hey, buddy, come on. You're 30 years old. You can't be splitting a tent with 6 people anymore, all right? When I was your age, I only had one roommate, and I owned my Nintendo Switch. So you got a lot of growing up to do, pal, okay? Go get a job selling your plasma just like everybody else.
And like the generation right before them, right? Baby boomers, arguably the worst generation of all time.
They are, bro.
They're like the worst, they're just like, oh, we're gonna fight the system. Till we turn 25, then we're all gonna get high-paying office jobs and pass a series of laws that deregulate the stock market and make it easier for companies to ship jobs overseas. Then, in 25 years, when the economy inevitably collapses and none of our kids can find work, we're gonna blame it on the fact that when they were growing up, they got too many trophies. I hate that trophy argument too, because it's so stupid. Because first of all, those trophies, those were your ideas. Like that, you're our parents. You can't get mad at us. Remember that?
Thank you to everyone that tuned in to the video. Please hit the hype button. Hit the hype button. Man, I'm gonna move this thing over here and move that over there. But anyway, thank y'all, man. Thank you. Let's get into it. The recap.
I believe that old people should be in charge of anything.
Which I agree, right? If y'all, you don't have to be political or anything, but you remember when this dude, all the jokes they was putting up about Joe Biden, all the, like you see this dude, Mitch McConnell, mouth all to the side, just froze at the podium, bro. Like, froze at the podium. The inability to just step. These people are wealthy as shit. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. I'm trying to stop cursing so much. They are so wealthy, but it's not enough. The absolute ignorance of addiction to power is crazy work. Like he said, they had to steam and hose Nancy Pelosi out of office. This is what we talking about at 85. There should be term limits on all this shit. Judges, all this stuff. All of it, bro. There's enough room for younger people that are qualified to fill these positions. We don't need y'all harboring and holding on to shit when there's people that's qualified to do it. You've made enough money in your lifetime. You've made enough. You've made enough for you, your kids, and the generation of your grandkids to survive off of, but you want more. While you're kicking us, so they pulled the ladder up. They kicking us off the ladder we're building ourselves. They're kicking us off our own shit. There should be term limits on everything. Everything. I promise. Hold on. Let me let this go.
At a certain age, I don't care how intelligent, wise, or socially aware you are, your decisions impact other people more than it will impact and affect you.
And it does, especially when you have like an older person driving in traffic, right? Not that we speed, because I don't. I've never gotten a speeding ticket. But they're just in the way. Shouts outs to my boy, Musab. Shouts outs to him, because he told me, because I got a little bit of road rage, not nothing crazy, but, talking shit in the car or whatever, but, I used to be like, hey, man, you got to get the old people a pass. He said, nope. He said they know better. They've been driving before anybody. When it's the truth, but it affects more, it affects more other people. They're a danger to themselves and everyone else. It's like driving drunk. You're a danger not only to yourself, but everyone else. Right?
Like, take climate change, for example. Boomers grew up with that shit. Like, that was something that they discovered.
And that's another thing, too, right? Because you got a lot of them with the previous administration are currently dealing with the new administration policies and X, Y, and Z, right? I have people that sit here and try to argue the fact that we should keep fossil fuels as we should. No, we're ruining the environment and the planet for our generation and generations behind us. But they don't care, right? And this kind of bleeds into the Gen Xers now too, because a lot of you guys, right, kind of adopt and do the same thing the boomers be doing. But I'm going to save that for another topic. But y'all low-key enablers for them. High-key, not even low-key, high-key enablers for them. Let's keep going.
They've known about it from its inception and still to this day make policies and run their businesses as if it does not exist.
Facts.
Because it won't affect them.
It will not.
Love and respect for the elders, but it's time for y'all to be advisors instead of leaders, chiefs.
And that's what I'm saying. We do need input of older individuals. As he said, advisors and mentors, X, Y, and Z, right? I'm all for mentorship, bro. I'm all for mentorship. But you, at some point, you got to move out the way. You got to get out the way and let someone else have their time. Get out the way. All right. I can remember, was this like 2 years ago? I watched Colorado football. I'm a huge Deion Sanders fan. I'm a huge fan of any black father in his position that does what he does. And they try to slander him for being a good black father, right? Nothing wrong. But anyway, him and LeVar Ball. But anyway, when they were playing against, I think it was a good game. It was Colorado Buffaloes versus Colorado State. That game where Travis Hunter got side shotted, he got cheap shotted. Bro, the kicker on the team, I want to say he was 32 or something crazy. Now, I know you have eligibility X, Y, and Z, right? You can go and da-da-da-da, right? You got this grown man out there paying a mortgage competing with teenagers, bro. You got some people, right? If the shoe fits, hey, man, good on him. You know, I admire that. I don't, because you're taking the position of someone that can be using that, right? I said the same thing about Aaron Rodgers. I said the same thing about, who else? Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. I said the same thing about him. He completely removed somebody else out of their position where he wasn't. I forget who the quarterback was for the Jets. He was decent. The Jets were a problem. And then Aaron Rodgers came in and effed it up with the hopes and possibilities that he's going to get them back to glory, and he never did. But he messed up the opportunity of a younger guy. Had him completely shipped out. You got to think about it, right? That changed that man's life, though. Not Aaron Rodgers, the kid he affected. That changed his whole life by not stepping out of the way. Aaron Rodgers made enough money. He did enough. But he just couldn't let it go. Now he just left on his last season like a bum. Because all he had to do was step out when he was hot. He's made millions. He's done enough. But y'all won't move out the way. He's not even a baby boomer. This is what we're talking about. Move out the way. Allow someone else to come in and do what you can't do. It's okay. It's no disrespect to you, but your time is up. You had some, like, I like watching some of those football clips of like the 37U football players. It's crazy, right? These are all people that just can't let it go. You can't let it go. You out there playing on public health insurance. They just can't let this shit go. I love football. Is my first thing that I really loved. Kept me out the street, did a bunch of shit for me, saved my life. Honestly, only thing I had at one point. When it was time to let go, I let it go. I didn't make it to the NFL. It's okay. I didn't make it to play Division 1. I made Division 3. It's okay. You got to learn when to let shit go. Let it go. Stop ruining everything for everybody else being greedy. Let it go. All right, I could see if that kicker for Colorado was mid-20s, late at the latest, mid-20s. You're taking an opportunity from someone that really deserves it. Your time is past. Now, that kid that's sitting on the bench behind you will never get to shine because you're overtaking that. Right? This right here.
Get rid of an entire generation in office because it is clear that they're so detached from the reality, not only amongst Gen X, the Millennials, Gen Z, and even Gen Alpha, but the reality for their own cohort.
And the sad part is, we probably won't see this until they die off. That is the overwhelming comment, the most overwhelming comment that I've gotten in my last video is the fact that you guys have to die in order for things to change. And that's sad. That shows how stubborn you really are. That's sad. That's unfortunate because you shouldn't take death for change to happen. But sometimes that's what's necessary. I don't for the life of me, right? I have a few more notes here and we can call this video what it is, right? A bunch of good. This dude had me dying laughing because he was spot on. How much greed do you have to not let it go? Right? I said this, like I said, this is non-political. I'm just speaking about the facts, right? You have the guy sitting in office right now. He's miserable. He's not a happy guy. He hasn't been a happy guy for a very long time. I don't know how anybody can make millions, be wealthy, just in general. Maybe I'm speaking like this because I've never been that and I only hope to one day. And I know I'm going to be responsible if I was. When I get to a certain age in life with money, especially age with the money, I'm minding my damn business. I'm trying to stay out the way. And I'm going to let these young kids help contribute to society and do better for us. I'm not going to keep inserting myself and being in the way of things when there's someone that's younger and more qualified that can do the job. I don't care if you're sharp for an 80-year-old. You're not sharp enough, obviously, to run this country correctly, as we can see. There are a lot of candidates in their 40s and 50s and 60s even that can do the job. We don't need diaper-wearing individuals making decisions for the collective and running us into the ground because they're going to be gone in the next 7 years and not see the repercussions of the decisions that they're making for the collective. I'm speaking about, like I said, non-political. I'm just talking the facts here, and I'm using that as an example. I want to be left alone. I want to be left alone now. If I ever become wealthy, in that manner, because there's different, ways of being wealthy. If I ever become wealthy in that manner, I'm going to be the happiest individual. I'm going to help other people. I'm going to mentor the younger generation behind me if that's what they want. I'm going to give advice when it's needed. And I'm going to watch how I critique other people because I've never lived in their position. Not be a control freak. Not running around trying to see how big my chest is. Right? Boomers, y'all have to do better, man. And we on borrowed time. We on borrowed time because y'all might blow up the world before we even get a chance to. And that's facts. That's facts, hey. Thank you guys for tuning in. keep this commentary a little short. Smash the hype button. Please smash the hype button. The channel's growing fast. I thank you for everyone. Please be respectful in the comments. You know, good feedback, positive feedback. Don't hop in the comments being an ass, because all I'm going to do is delete it. And I got moderators who probably delete it before I see it anyway. It's not even no point. It does nothing. This is an honest conversation between me, you, the boomers, and the rest of the world. Let's keep it that. Be respectful. Use integrity. Do your research. And like the video. Ayo Bassel TV. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.